Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Fight League Atlantic FLA Exposure. We're here right on the heels coming up to our very first show of the year. It is FLA 18 in the Moncton Coliseum in New Brunswick. I cannot wait for this show. It is going to be absolutely incredible. If you don't have your tickets already, what are you waiting for? Go get them now at fightleagueatlantic.com. Get your tickets there, get the pay-per-view there. And look, you might have missed a few people to get Christmas gifts for. Go get them some tickets now at fightleagueatlantic.com. This episode of FLA Exposure brought to you by our good friends over there at Maritime Madness. Thank you so much. We've got two guests on the show today, so I'm very excited, and we're going to bring our first one in right now. This man is making his amateur MMA debut at FLA 18 on February 1st. He's a New Brunswick athlete who now calls the West Coast home, but he's coming home to make his debut. Very excited. He represents Black Rock Martial Arts and Victory Jiu-Jitsu Moncton. He's an avid grappler. He's a purple belt. He's making his debut against Mr. Charlie Ross at 150 pounds. Let's bring him in. Please welcome Mr. Ben Milley. Ben, where are you, Ben?
Hey,
What's going on? How's it going, my friend? How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, buddy. Now, look, we interview and speak to a lot of fighters here on FLA Exposure. You look like you're a fighter's manager or something. What's going on? Where are you at right now? What are you doing?
I'm actually just at the office here this morning. I took my lunch a little early. It's 10 a.m. out here.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm just a CPA, so I'm just at the office doing some work and taking a little break to chat with you. So that's always good.
Very nice, my friend. Well, very cool, man. So you're a CPA. That's a certified professional accountant. How do I say that? Is that right?
Chartered, yeah,
Chartered
professional accountant. Yeah.
Very nice, man. How long you been doing that?
I started accounting right after university, but I just got my designation. It'd be 6 months ago.
Very nice. Congrats, my friend. And so where is here? You're out on the West Coast right now?
Yes, I'm actually on Vancouver Island, a little town called Parksville, probably a population of like 12,000 people.
Very, very cool.
So,
And so born and raised, though, in New Brunswick, as I understand it?
yeah. So I grew up in Quispam, but I lived in St. John for a little bit. I lived in Moncton for a bit. I actually was in Halifax for a little bit and spent quite a bit of time in PEI. So I kind of got to see all the Maritimes.
Very, very cool, my friend. And so here you are. Now you're out on the West Coast, but you're going to be coming back East Coast for your very first amateur MMA bout. How does this all come about? Who is Mr. Ben Milley?
Yeah, I guess pardon me. When you think about it, where do you want to fight in front of everybody you know? So I contacted FLA and I was like, hey guys, I'm ready. I've been training for a while and I'm looking forward to fighting the Coliseum.
That's crazy, man. I mean, like, look, so, I mean, you're an accountant by day, a fighter by night. How has the training been going? How long have you been training?
Training's been going well. The worst part is not eating brownies anymore. That's what I miss, especially over Christmas. You see Christmas logs and shortbread cookies but then you get an apple and you're just like, you know what? Who needs everything else?
Yeah, there you go. Sure. But so how long have you been training? Like when did the dream begin for Mr. Ben Milley to become an MMA fighter?
I started with Muay Thai actually probably 10 years ago now. I was probably 16, 17 in high school. Then I started doing jiu-jitsu around 18, 19. So, and then, so what's that now? Fairly consistently for about a decade, grappling for like 7 years.
Sure.
So yeah, I took some time off of striking while I was fell in love with wrestling and jiu-jitsu. But
yeah, I did see, like, when I was researching for this show, I did see that like on Smooth Comp that you've been competing quite a bit in some jiu-jitsu competitions. That's where your focus has been. How have you been enjoying that?
it's good. It was a little rocky with COVID.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I think everybody took some time off from competing, and then I kind of got the desire back to start competing again last fall, maybe,
Okay.
because I was competing all the time before COVID.
Right.
Then COVID happened. I went to grad school, and then kind of stopped competing for a bit. And then, yeah, last fall, I was like, you know what? I kind of got it back, did some jiu-jitsu competitions in the summer, and then I've been working on my striking the whole time. So it's kind of how we got here.
Nice, man. And so here's the thing. So you're a CPA, an accountant. You deal with clients, I assume, like they come into the office, like you're doing their work.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So do you have stickers or, and if you don't have this already, then you got to cut me in on this, but you should have a sticker that says my accountant can beat up your accountant. And then you give that, you know what I mean? That's got to be something that Ben Milley gives out.
It's not a bad idea. I'll put that on the business card.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing, man. Have you, you're an East Coast boy, born and raised. Now you're on the West Coast. Have you been watching the FLA cards? Have you been watching the events of FLA? Like, how did you come to know about FLA is my, general question here.
I think, well, from so basically I got exposure to FLA through Christian, I think. Like everybody, I don't know if you knew that, but so I've been friends with Christian for a long time now.
Okay.
I actually said, like, yeah, he helped me a lot. Just working with him in a few of his camps. I think we started training together before his Philadelphia fight.
Okay.
That'd be during COVID, I guess. And then, yeah, before his fight with Squid, and then his fight with out in Contender Series in the summer, I was out with Christian for a couple days a week, going up there. Chris was there, obviously, and yeah, the last FLA card, I bought on pay-per-view. I had all the guys out to watch it, and I was like, you got to watch Chris fight, and then
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome. All the popcorn, and then Chris is done in 35 seconds or whatever it was, and I was like, see, I told you, this dude's a monster, and yeah,
that's incredible, man. Yeah, it's funny because when the post came out on Fight League Atlantic's Instagram, and it was your fight poster, the very first comment was, I call him the champ because I'm not allowed to call him Christian anymore. He's the champ in my opinion. But so I saw Christian Tiger Savoy, he posts Ben Milley, lol. And I was like, is he making fun of this guy? Like, what's the deal? And then so I reached out to him and I said, like, what's the story? He goes, he didn't even tell me he was fighting. He said it was going to be a surprise. So you didn't tell the champ that you're fighting in his hometown where he's the man?
No, well, I don't want to tell Christian because one, his injury with his knee, I guess, I just didn't want to have him to think about me, and he's got Chris who's fighting for the belt, and I'm like, they've helped me so much with everything for the last like several years, and now I think I got a lot out of that, but now that I'm no longer there, it can't really help me. I mean, I'm all the group chats. I get all the technique videos sent through, so I figured I'll give them all a surprise and see what they say. It's kind of
So how has the reaction been then? Because here you are, right? Like, I mean, making the debut. And this is a big thing, my friend. I was asking if you're watching FLA cards because the fact of the matter is these cards are huge, right? The crowds are big. The venues are massive. The production value is incredible. To make your debut under the FLA bright lights is no small feat, man. So like, what are people thinking? What's the reaction from your friends and family?
Oh, nothing but support. Obviously, I mean, my friends are pretty supportive. They're pretty confident, and I think so am I. I think it comes from, like I said, nearly a decade of doing martial arts now, and that's why I think the FLA is a perfect spot for it.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. Like, it's a big opportunity, man. The big bright lights. Now, here's the thing: you're going up against Mr. Charlie Ross. He's from Henzo Gracie PEI. He's a local guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the away guy or are you the home guy in this fight? Like, is this a West Coast versus East Coast, or is it an East Coast? What are you expecting the fans? Like, how are they? Are they going to boo you, cheer you? What are you expecting?
I'm expecting to be the hometown favorite for sure.
Okay. Let people know on this podcast so they understand, like, hey, I'm the hometown guy.
I mean, I was born, grew up in New Brunswick. I lived in Moncton for several years. I think it's going to be mostly my fans out there.
Okay.
But a little islander on islander violence is what I like to call it.
Nice. All right, very cool, man.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Do you know Charlie Ross? Have you competed against him? Because like with your BJJ and stuff like that, have you ever come across him before? What are you thinking about this opponent?
Never really thought. Never met him. Never competed against him. Didn't know anything about him. Uh, I'm sure he looks athletic from the picture. Sure he competes a lot, but I've got a game plan. You know what I mean? I've had to sit. That's kind of what. It doesn't matter who the opponent was. I was going to be like, sure, let's do it. I'm going to do the same thing that I plan on doing. So
Nice, man. That's awesome. Now, look, not going to keep you long because I'm sure you have clients waiting. They're in some real tax troubles out there. So here's the thing. Is there anything that you want to say to the fans, viewers, and listeners of this FLA Exposure episode, people that are getting to know you for the first time, people that are super excited to see you at FLA 18? What would you like people to know?
just that accountants aren't boring. We can do exciting things in our spare time, and I think it's the classic jiu-jitsu guy. You don't look like you can fight, and then you go out there and you get some wins. That's what I'm hoping to do.
Very nice, man. And win, lose, or draw, this is going to be an exciting fight. Like anytime we see two people making their debut against one another, it's incredible because you never know what you're going to get. But the question to you that I'm going to ask you before we let you go, win, lose, or draw, however things go, hopefully, for you, things go the way that you want them to, obviously. Will we see you back in the FLA cage in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've got a plan. I've now got the free time without studying for exams, and no more CPA exams coming up or anything. So nothing but training and working. So.
All right, man. Well, Ben, I'm really glad to have met you here today, man. This is exciting. I can't wait to see you. It's just a few weeks away. Make sure you keep pumping this out on your socials. Let people know that the accountant Ben Milley, I mean, that's got to be your nickname, but the accountant Ben Milley is coming to FLA 18. Get your tickets at fightleagueatlantic.com. Thanks so much, man. I can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Have a good one, my friend.
See
you later.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was the accountant Ben Milley. And next up, we have the champ is here. The champ is here. This man captured the 155-pound advanced amateur title back at FLA 14 in April of last year and finally makes his return to the FLA cage at FLA 18, where he will defend that title. He's currently riding a 2-fight win streak, both inside the FLA cage, looking to make it 3 in a row. His first successful defense representing Santos Brothers BJJ West End Athletic Center. Please welcome Jeremy Miazga-Grzybek.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on the FLA podcast. Appreciate it.
What's going on, my friend? Good to see you.
Thank you guys for having me, man. Looking forward to it, and really happy to step back in the cage.
Finally, you're back, man. Like, it's been quite a long time since we last saw you. What have you been up to?
I know it's tough for us two guys to get fights since now they just legalized MMA in the province. It's going to be a bit funny with the headgear, the shin guards, and the rash guards, but hopefully now, like right before I turn pro, I can actually get a bit more activity consistently. I've just been training hard, trying to fix the mistakes from the last fight and improve my skill set. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm training clients to do the same.
Very nice, man. Now, you're being very modest because in your last 2 fights, you performed very, very well inside that FLA cage. One of the notes was that, like, hey, look, this man has not taken a lot of damage. He's like really controlled his opponents and done a great job. What have you been doing? You feel like you needed to improve a lot on your last performances?
I feel like for myself, because I'm very confident in my skill set and I know I'm a very good, well-rounded athlete, I try and beat my opponent where I know they're best, which is pretty stupid. For example, like in my last fight against Alex, I probably shouldn't be grappling against a jiu-jitsu black belt and a high-level competitor. In the fight before, I also looked to like engage the wrestling and someone who participated in Team Canada, but I was able to pull him away with body shots and knees. And then Alex, I was able to out-grapple him, out-pace him, and then out-skill him.
It's crazy, man. It's very exciting for you, my friend. And of course, last fight, you walked away with that nice big golden belt. And I remember seeing you at the airport on the way home, and you had to get through security with that big gold belt. How was that? Everything okay? You made it home safe? Where's the FLA title belt right now?
I have it tucked away behind my bed, looking to capture another one.
Very nice. Wait a second. Hold on. When you come to defend your title, do you have to bring your belt, and do you actually defend that one? Do you know? Do you have to bring that one back with you?
They haven't told me yet. I'm assuming that one's mine for life, but wouldn't mind having the double, you know?
Yeah, sure. We'll see how that all goes. Now, how excited are you to be able to defend your belt? Because that's a big thing, man. In the amateur ranks, not everyone always gets a chance to defend the title. You are. How important was that to you that you get to defend it?
For me, it's not so much the belt as well as the actual fight itself. It's more so my goal long term is professional. When I look at a 5 round amateur MMA fight, that's a 15-minute fight. To me, that symbolizes a pro fight. It's kind of the next step forward. The one thing I do love about having a belt is now there's a target on my back and I can always get competition. Whereas when you're just someone coming up the rankings, especially with a good skill set, not many people want to take you because it doesn't look good. Or a lot of people don't want to take the fight just because it's a high risk. What I find a lot amateur is where you should be competing as much as possible. You take the tough fight, you take your losses like I have in the past, and you learn from them. And then when you're a professional, you look to make the best decisions for yourself, given your skill set, and make as much money as possible.
Definitely, man. No, I like that attitude. And I like that mentality because here, one of the big things that I always say to people is like, you really get to judge someone and not just their character, but like their performance by how they rebound from losses, from setbacks, right? That just goes for life as a whole. So it's very important. How were you able to bounce back from some of your losses? Like, how does that work in your mentality?
You just have to look at whether it's a loss in life or it's a loss in competition, you have to take accountability for it. You have to look at what went wrong and then build a plan to go from there. So like when I fought Marcus in the last show in Toronto, I let him take me down too often and I was too comfortable on the bottom attacking submissions. I had him in an armbar and triangle for pretty much the entire time we were on the ground. Some judges might not know what that is, which is an unfortunate case. So in retrospect, I should have gotten up. I should have pressed the fight where I could have dominated instead of made it competitive. More or less, I did the same thing in my last fight, despite it being a win. I made it more competitive than I had to, and that's something I'm looking to avoid.
Very nice, very nice. Now, look, your opponent, right? He's undefeated as an amateur, Mr. Simon Plummer out of Tower One Combat Sports. Obviously, that's a huge gym in the East Coast. What do you know about this opponent, and have you been training anything specifically for him?
So I know he comes from Gavin Tucker's gym. He's a very well-respected athlete, UFC veteran, still actively competing. Absolutely phenomenal coach. One of my buddies, Pat Pitlick, he cornered him for his Contender Series fight, and now Pat is out there living in Nova Scotia. So Simon Plummer, very intelligent fighter, very intelligent coach, very well-rounded. What I've noticed from all his guys, they're all very well-rounded, and they're competitive and competent everywhere. But what I haven't seen them excel in a certain area, besides a few athletes he has that just primarily perform in jiu-jitsu or striking.
Okay.
So definitely a fight I'm looking forward to.
Very nice, very nice. And so here's the thing. I know you were saying like a few more fights and you're happy to have that gold belt because it puts that target on your back so you get fights. All things go well here. You are able to successfully defend your title. Are you looking to defend it again in that FLA cage, or do you want to turn pro right after that? What is the plan?
Ideally, 2 to 3 more fights max, whether it be FLA or something local, just because I wouldn't want to be waiting a couple months to come back in. So no matter what this year, we're signing pro, and then hopefully like within 2 amateur fights. As well as like I'm still actually competing in grappling. I still train all the time. I help coach guys in stand-up and striking. So I try and be as diverse as possible, just being fully invested in the sport.
Very, very nice. And look, for all the people watching here, I'm just letting you know, Jeremy, but all the people watching and for me included, very, very selfishly, I want all those fights to be in the FLA cage. You know what I mean? Like I want to get the fight. So if you're a fighter out there watching this, I want you to be challenging Jeremy here in the FLA cage for sure, my friend.
I love the rule set. You guys have those shin pads, professional rule set. FLA has the best rules for amateur in all the province I've seen, especially the sanctioning. It's very professional. I always go through the commission. There's blood work, medical testing. It's like a UFC experience, the professional show, even as an amateur level.
Definitely, man. Like, and that's the big thing too. Like that, yeah. That's why when you started off the interview talking about shin guards and headgear, I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Like, where are you going, man? That's not how it goes in FLA. The show here is absolutely professional, man. It's top notch production value, and the fights are incredible. Are all your friends and family going to be tuning in? Are any of them going to be coming down with you to make the trip? I might have lost you here. You there, Jeremy?
I have one friend from Toronto. He's gonna come by. Yeah.
Good. I got you.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Works?
I got you. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Perfect. I got one friend coming by from Toronto. Bunch of local guys here. They're gonna grab the pay-per-view together. Hope we do a few watch parties. Hopefully my gym, West End AC, will also do one. All my boys at Santos going to be supporting. And then I got Rob flying in as well for my cornering.
Very nice. And you see there's a question down here from Jay Savage. Is he from, and I apologize, sorry if we can put that back up there. Is he from Justin Bruckman's camp?
I'm not, but Matt Embry used to be one of my Muay Thai coaches. Matt Embry is now at Cal Samarit. So I've gone there a few times to train with him. So I do know Justin, but I haven't trained under him directly.
All right, there you go. See, the fans are watching this, man. They're trying to get to know you. They want to know who this man is. One thing that I did see on your social media, I'd be terrible if I didn't ask you. You were fasting for like a really long time just recently. Was it like 6 days, 7 days? What was going on with that?
So every year at New Year's, I started the tradition last year. I do a 5-day fast. Last year, I had my champagne at midnight, like everyone does on New Year. And then 124 hours later, I had my first meal of the year. This year, because like I have a fight camp, I was a bit more disciplined. I haven't touched alcohol in like 2 months. I started my fast at 7 p.m. on the 31st, just before New Year. And then from there, I just water, pink salt, and then a little bit of black coffee, 5 days out. So I broke my fast on the weekend.
Very nice, man. And what is that all about? Like, just for those maybe like there's going to be a lot of amateur fighters probably watching this. Like, what does that do for you? What is the reasoning behind that?
Intermittent fasting, or just fasting in general, has a ton of benefits. It helps your cells regenerate. I find the biggest thing it gives you is like when you're doing it, you know you have control of your body and your mind. I fast at the beginning of every month, whether it be 24, 48, or 72 hours. Just something like this, it's a good reset to start the year, get your mind on the right path, and then just from there, I still train when I'm doing it, so it gives you an extra mindset to push through. And if I tell myself I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it no matter what. So it's very good for mental toughness, good benefits on the body, and helps you get the weight off too.
Very nice. Anytime soon, but I'll try it one day. You're fighting in Moncton, New Brunswick. This is the Moncton Coliseum. It's a huge venue, man. I know that your last two fights, they were in smaller venues. One was in Sackville, New Brunswick. One was in Elmsdale, Nova Scotia. How are you preparing for the larger venue? Does that matter to the champ?
To me, the only thing that's there is a cage. And then once you're inside there, it's only you and your opponent and the voice of the coaches, nothing else. To me, how big it is doesn't really matter because you have to be ton of focused. If you're focused on the audience or you're focused on trying to get attention, stuff like that, it's the wrong sport for you.
All right, man. Good way to think and good planning. Do you do visualization techniques and things like that? I mean, I know you're a man like ready to turn pro, like as you're talking, right? Like this is your career. This is your life fighting. So you hear from a lot of like UFC fighters and things like that they do visualization techniques, mental training. Do you do any of that?
Absolutely. I'm very big into meditation. I think not much meditation, but visualization, seeing the fight. Even when you're looking at the fight, you can't just look at the good. You have to imagine yourself being in bad spots. You have to visualize yourself breaking out of them and overcoming obstacles. So I tend to think of myself, best case scenario, worst case scenario, and everything in between. And then that just helps solidify your confidence, knowing if something does go wrong, you're going to bounce back and find a way. And if you just bust out through the guy, it looks even better on your social media.
There you go, man. Of course, you always want the good clips for the social media, my friend. Look, man, I really appreciate your time here. I appreciate you letting the FLA fans around the world get to know you. I'm so excited to see you make the trip back out east and defend that title. Before we let you go, is there anything that you want to say to the fans, viewers, and listeners of the FLA Exposure podcast?
Guys, thank you so much for supporting the show. It's everyone knows you when you kind of get to a high level of the UFC, the Bellator, the One Championship. But when you're on the way up, it's a very tough game, a lot of sacrifices. So everyone that's watching this live, thank you so much for supporting. Everyone that's going to be watching the show, we wouldn't have professional MMA in Canada, or there wouldn't be these big leagues if you guys don't support the local shows. And just keep on showing the support. And I appreciate the love. I hope to give you guys a show for it too.
Yeah, man, my friend, I am so excited to see you back. I'm so happy that you're helping us open the year in 2025 at FLA 18 with the champ defending his belt. It's going to be a great fight. The whole card is looking absolutely stacked, Jeremy. So, man, I wish you all the best. Good luck in your training. Good luck in your travels. Safe travels. We'll see you soon in a few weeks. In the meantime, everybody, get your tickets at fightleagueatlantic.com. Make sure you do not want to miss this card. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining, my friend, and have a good one.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Thank you for having me. Look forward to the show.
Take care. See you, bye. Bye-bye.